Here's the thing. You could have the best idea in the world. You could have the best product in the world. But if you don't present yourself correctly, it's totally worthless, okay? Because how you communicate, it's not quite that same percentage that you hear out there. Oh, 95% of what you say, it doesn't require the words that come out of your mouth. That was a misinterpretation, okay? There's no way to properly put what body language, the way that you say something, the way that you enunciate yourself has to do with the actual content of what you're trying to get across. Long and short of it is, though, it's a very important component, okay? Is it more? Maybe. Is it less? It depends on the medium, right? But regardless, whenever you are communicating with somebody, face to face, you should always be displaying confidence. What you don't say matters as much as what you do say. Sometimes more. Oftentimes more, okay? I would say that is the standard, okay? Don't let poor body language undermine your good message. Pull your shoulders back, put your head up, and get ready to make your point heard. Nonverbal signals. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of different little categories right here. Not a bunch, but enough to get the point across. You may not even be aware of it, but your body is having a conversation with the person or people that you are talking to. Keep your chin parallel to the floor. Push your shoulders back and down. Straighten your spine. And whether you're standing or seating, distribute your body weight evenly. Yeah, exactly. Because if you look like this and you're trying to give a sales pitch, okay, I got this new eraser that's out here. It'll take pen off of paper without tearing it up. And you guys want to buy all of it? Because I really like to sell you some. That's not going to work. It's not going to work at all. You'd be trying to advertise the second coming of Christ. Nobody's going to take your message seriously. Similarly, keep your hands relaxed and open. No. Just cross them across your body, okay? Stand like every black guy in the picture, okay, with your hands. See if I can get this. Okay, yeah, just have them right across your body, okay? Just stand with your hands cocked at, or rather your arms cocked at a 90-degree angle bend at elbows, or just have them rubbing together, okay, at the same time. Like, it's weird, okay? They don't smile, and then they always cross their face. I don't know, man. It's kind of like old white guys, too, who just kind of stand with their arms like they don't know what to do, but then just never smile in any pictures. It's just strange things. When talking, keep the hand gestures to a minimum. I don't know about that, man. You just sometimes, especially if you're trying to hold court, you're walking around. I'm talking specifically if you're going to be on stage, okay, to like public speaking or something like that. One of the worst things that you can do, especially if you have a podium or something in front of you, okay, if you have cards or notes or something like that, just have cards. Have your notes there on the podium. But then always feel free to start walking around and then delivering your message. It just goes to show that you have a certain level of confidence, that you have a certain control of the space, and you get a lot more deference. You get a lot more eyes on you, especially if you're commanding more space. Now, if you're in a close engagement with somebody else, obviously you can't pull that off. All of this stuff comes with a caveat, okay? Context does matter. The eyes have it. We all know the importance of maintaining eye contact to convey sincerity, interest, confidence, and let's be honest here, to make the other person, make sure the other person is still paying attention when they're talking. And also, yeah, that you pick up on the cues that what you're saying is important, it's being well received, and that you're not causing the other person to dodder off, because sometimes somebody wants to tell a story. Let me tell you this travel story about this one time that we went down to the beach. Was I wearing sandals? Was I wearing the white ones? Or did I pack the white ones? No, I left the white ones back at home. No, we went down to the beach and I seen somebody get eaten by a shark. No, actually, maybe I was wearing the white sandals. Okay, was I wearing a dress or was I wearing a one piece? I can't quite. You know, you've heard all of those terrible stories when at the end of the day, you just want to hear about the shark bite. Most people are terrible storytellers. They get hung up on the worst aspects, the worst little details that nobody cares about. So if you start to see people's eyes darting away, their eyes glaze over, just get to the juicy point, okay? It's like with stand-up comedians, okay? They know their material. Normally the way that they structure their show, they have their B-tier material right up front to hook everybody in. Then you can work into your C and then your D-type material. And then if you start to hear rumblings in the crowd or people starting to move around, then you can go to your closer. Or if you have to go to it early, your A-tier material, you work it in and then you just, you got another joke that you can close with. But you need to be able to hook somebody throughout the entirety of the time that you have them engaged. That's the most important thing. That's what you can pick up with your old eye holes. But there can be too much of a good thing. The thing is, when there's with a 50-70 rule, that doesn't work because that's 120%. Probably 30-70 rule, that makes sense. Give appropriate attention without inappropriate staring. Keep eye contact about 50% of the time when you're speaking, about 70% of the time when you're listening. Oh, that's a real rule? Never heard that one before. I'd say if you're talking to somebody one-on-one, you should be you should be engaged with them in locking the eyes, okay, more consistently than 50% of the time. 70% of the time when you're listening, yeah, and then just little, micro expressions like little nodding along, little facial expressions as well. That would be far more important. Intersperse your gaze with blinking, you factor in blinking, that's weird, nodding and looking away to convey that you're thinking only about the matter at hand, of course, instead of what you're going to have for dinner. If somebody's just dreadfully boring, we all work with people like that. Look away slowly. Doing this too quickly can make you seem nervous. Yeah, shifty eye problem. Best face forward. Yeah, exactly. Don't go out looking ugly. Ideally, our faces will stay natural, open, pleasant during any and all conversations, but the reality is our faces reflect our feelings. Yes, a furrowed brow infers just a disagreement with the topic at hand, or a surprised shock can come across your face without even knowing about it. It's like, wow, I thought there's still more details to this story. I thought we were wrapping up, or just a little smirk in an inappropriate time. It all reflects poorly or positively if you know what you're doing. Relaxing your jaw, slide your tongue inside your mouth, start to smile. Opening your eyes slightly will have the effect of raising your eyebrows as well, which convey intelligence. Interesting. We're not talking crazy wide, but definitely don't squint. This is something to keep doubly in mind when indoors, especially on a bright day. Consciously use your expression to communicate your emotions and feelings and direct the conversation. Very important point right there. Oh yeah, you start to get a little bit more animated with your listening. You're just trying to prompt somebody to wrap up this nonsense. So either we can get on with something, or I don't have to slap you in order to end this undesirable engagement. If in doubt, practice in front of the mirror, as professional speakers do. Yeah, you hear about that all the time, and you can of course run through your speech. Okay, you should hear how it is delivered. Run it through once or twice so it doesn't sound too cumbersome. If you don't have enough, or you don't have too many big words that are in there that would just otherwise detract from people. Because again, you don't want to talk down to your audience, but you also don't want to price your vocabulary out of the range of what would be acceptable. Vocal cues. Yes, sir. Words are powerful, so enunciate them. You don't have to practice saying, she sells seashells by the seashore, or the quick brown dog jumps over the lazy fox. All of those vocal warm-up techniques that we all know and love. Before a big presentation, but it can't hurt, take a deep breath, open your diaphragm for a fuller, richer tone. Speak at a steady pace that is easy to understand. Talking too fast sounds like Ben Shapiro, while talking too slow can seem less intelligent. Guys, here's the deal. Look, last thoughts. Nobody's going to get that, but I appreciate it. Says goodbye to a wishy-washy maybe, just, perhaps. They can undercut your message. Yes, confidence in the way that you talk and confidence in the way that you deliver your message, instead of saying words that make you weak. Well, perhaps, kind of, I don't know. Worthless language. Don't be conveying yourself like that. Speak like you're an authority on something, even if you have a base cursory understanding of it. Got it? Good. Also, eliminate saying, not, like, and, as fillers when collecting your thoughts. Yeah, just have a contemplative look on your face. Construct the sentence in which you're going to convey, and then deliver it appropriately. If you need to stop to collect your thoughts, you don't have to fill time, okay? You don't have an allotment that you're required in order to engage in the conversation. Say what needs to be said. No more, no less. Get your point across. Listen with confidence. Every conversation is an opportunity to build trust and deepen connections. And active listening is an important part of the process. Yes, exactly. This can all be summed up with one line. Listening to hear, not listening to speak. Face a speaker and maintain eye contact. This time, you're the one looking for the nonverbal cues. Come on. My moose wasn't working. It turned off a little bit. I was talking too much. Anyways, face the speaker, yes, maintain eye contact, listen without interrupting, judging, or jumping to conclusions, or even interjecting additional facial cues or just mms, ahs, and I agree. Oh, you know what? The same thing happened to me. Chances are your story sucks, it's inadequate, or it's just going to come across as this guy always just has a bigger fishtail. You know the old gimmick. You're trying to convey something, and then smarmy guy from the office comes in. Let me tell you about a vacation that I took. Well, I took the missus to Mars, and you'll never be able to top that story. It's like, nobody cares, dude. Nobody believes you, for one, and your input is not needed at all. Just stay over there. Stay focused. It's all too easy to mentally step back to plan what you're going to say next and lose track of the conversation. Listening to speak, not to hear. Ask questions if needed, and paraphrase and summarize to show that you got the message. And also, just a little additional speaker point, and then again, if you're engaging in conversation, reiterate and occasionally address somebody by their name, or if you're trying to make a metaphor or bring in an analogy of sorts, just bring in, and then just also grab little context cues and additional information that was gained throughout the conversation, or if this is an extended second, third, fourth interaction that's out there, if you can remember something 100%, okay, because this can easily backfire if you're running a bunch of different conversations at the same time, grabbing things that you were talking about before in a previous conversation with somebody else doesn't tend to work out all that well. That's why you normally want to stay within the confines of the conversation that's going on, and then work in their name and just shows, wow, that person really does care about me. Well, at least until the point we get back to the house, and then guess what? All bets are off, just like the dress. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.